I want to come back to the past for a moment, because I was told that when you started off in the family business, you started off with the idea of making cigars. Really? What was that?
Well, I used to be smoking cigars those days, and when I came back from America, my brother was busy running the soft drinks. My father was taking care of the plants, production and things like that. So I said, let me do something new. Let me make some cigars. So I went down to Trichinapalli, found cigar rollers, selected a cigar, and we started making cigars called Bengal Tiger. At that time, there were no tax excise on it, and it was item which was government was promoted. And then suddenly, the excise came on it. From 0, it went straight to 220%.
Wow. This is what, 1960s or 70s?
This is around 72.
This is Indira Gandhi's high tax regime.
And then I realized there is a very sensitive subject, that if a politician went to see cigar manufacturing, you would see highly labor intensive. So it says 0 excise. And if a businessman went to Delhi and smoked a cigar in front of a politician, he says this, he can afford to pay, so you put 220. So since independence, I think 3 times the tax came and tax went out. So at this time, I said it is much cheaper to close this business, because this ups and downs it cannot take.
But have you ever thought of going back? Let's start cigars again.
No. It's still too sensitive a subject.
It's still too sensitive. Your dad, I'm told, Mumbai gossip has it, was always ahead of his time. He'd come into parties with a cigar and a drink in hand at a time when all of this was done behind closed doors. He's way ahead of his time. He was thinking of cigars in the 1960s. Is he, in a way, is this the kind of family you all are, very open about the way you've lived your lives? All of you have love marriages, I believe, in a way. All of you married. It wasn't dad again telling you, I'm going to, I found this lovely guy for you, I'm going to get you guys married to him. None of that. No conservative sort of Rajasthani, Gujarati family from Navsari. So each of you were allowed to find your own lives in a way.
Yes. I think that's so important, we were each allowed to do what we felt from our hearts and our mind. We were given that independence as long as we stayed in the
within the value system.
Yeah, within the value system. Yeah.
No, but have you all ever felt that, look, I'm spending so much of time at work, do I have enough time for my family? Am I, being a good mother, has that ever worried you? The idea of, do I need to spend more time at home with the kids? Is that something you all have thought about, or you found a way? Do you also bring the kids to office maybe?
Yeah, I think all the kids have been in office from the time they were born. I remember Nia was just about a week old when she started coming to office with me, and, had a little nursery.
So you made her a Parle baby at 1 week old, is it?
Yeah, and they've all grown up here. They've all, like office was our playground, it's their playground. They've all grown up over here, and of course that helps as well in being able to achieve this balance. Now they're all much older, so there are different needs of involvement from our end in their lives versus when they were much smaller. And I think like you said, we've just made it work. We've just figured out our own, and each of us have our own way of balancing it, our own routine and our own method to the madness.
Because again in research, I've been seeing you all have a variety of interests. One of you is a horse rider?
Yeah, actually all of us.
All of you are horse riders?
We all grew up I pursue it more now, and also because of my daughter. I mean, we gave it all up and then have come back to it because she's gotten into it. But in general, from the time he was 7, he's been riding, and then we were all made to ride from a very young age. And I think all our family holidays at that time used to all be in Mathiran. We used to all be in Mathiran for Christmas, New Year's, whatever it is.
Lovely hill station surrounded by monkeys everywhere.
And horses.
And horses.
In the morning we used to go riding. We used to wake up at 6 o'clock for that 6 o'clock ride and the 5 o'clock ride.
Every morning, evening.
Yeah.
It was
It was
set.
something that we...
None of you thought of becoming jockeys, right?
No.
you didn't take... But again, you know, allowing them to sort of express their interests in the way they wanted. Horse riding a big passion with you also?
Yes, and my father also.
And your father. So it's a family tradition of being... Your children also into horse riding?
Her son as well. Yeah.
Very much so.
So, you know, again it comes down to sort of finding these spaces, I guess, so that your life is not just work. How important is that, you think, today, where the world is so competitive? Does work consume you, or does it give you time and space to do other things?
I think it should give you time and space to do other things, because you can't be completely consumed by...
How do you switch off?
I like nature. I like sports. So these are kind of activities that I kind of delve into when I want to switch off.
You just switched off for 10 days. So you went to...
She climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
You climbed Mount Kilimanjaro right to the very top?
Well, 200 meters below the top.
Pretty good.
So I went to the rooftop of Africa, which was Gilman's Point. Right. And then there's another 200 meters that goes to Uhuru, which I was unable to make it. I had a little bit of mountain sickness, you could call it. But it was great. It was fantastic.